Welcome back to the pulse here on Joy News, and we're going to talk about the NDC. But before we do so, a statement that is just coming in from the Office of the President, and it relates to the organized labor and issues about galamsey. The reason why organized labor decided to suspend tomorrow's strike. Let me run through the statement that is coming from the Office of the President. Government President Akufo-Addo has directed the Minister for Defense to deploy additional military forces to intensify the ongoing Operation HALT, which aims to curb illegal mining. The President has again instructed the Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, along with the Environmental Protection Agency, to suspend the enforcement of the Environmental Protection Mining Forest Reserve Regulation LI 2462 with immediate effect. So begin at this very moment, LI 2462 is suspended, and that's the directive to the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Also, President Akufo-Addo says in a bid to enhance legal action against illegal mining activities, 4 dedicated courts have already been established. The President further directed the Attorney General to work with the Chief Justice to increase the number of courts handling cases related to illegal mining. President Akufo-Addo is again urging organized labor to encourage all presidential candidates and their political parties to sign a pact committing themselves to the fight against illegal mining as part of their election pledges. In light of this, the President respectfully urged organized labor to suspend the planned strike action, and that has been done. President Akufo-Addo remains determined to end illegal mining and calls on all citizens, political parties and stakeholders to unite in this national effort. So 2 key takeaways: military already out to enforce a ban on illegal mining, and of course a directive to the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology and EPA to suspend the enforcement of the Environmental Protection Mining Forest Reserve Regulation LI 2462 with immediate effect. This is the latest, and that is what you have on your screens now. The latest communication coming from the Office of the President at the Jubilee House, and the key takeaway in here is the deployment of additional military personnel to fight, illegal mining. And of course, the other key issue worthy of mention is the directive to the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, along with the Environmental Protection Agency, to suspend the enforcement of the Environmental Protection Regulation LI 2462 with immediate effect. That is the breaking news coming from the Office of the President. As already may be aware, organized labor has suspended tomorrow's strike. Now, the National Democratic Congress is again in the news, and they have issues with the Electoral Commission, as the party says it will not accept a plan by the Commission to begin printing of ballots. The party says it will not accept that. Why? In the studio to help us understand the position of the NDC is Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, Deputy Director of Elections with the NDC. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're looking sharp.
It is well.
Okay. So the EC says you should make your agents available, and they have indicated where they will be undertaking the printing of ballots, about 6 printing houses, all in Ghana, so that you can monitor the process. You have a problem with this? Why?
Yeah, very well. Let me say good afternoon to your cherished viewers. We have issues with it. In fact, fundamentally, it's flawed. The letter is flawed, and we think that they should withdraw the letter immediately.
Why?
One, you don't have a register. Mm-hmm. We are still having issues too over the register. We had an emergency IPAC meeting, which was telecast live, where you told us point blank that you are giving us a revised provisional register.
You don't have it yet?
Not yet. As of yesterday, they issued a statement when we wrote back to them about accepting some of their proposals and that we welcome the new provisional register they are going to give us and all that. They have not given us. Yesterday, they came out and said, they said 2 weeks.
They said 2 weeks or so?
Or so.
Which means that
yesterday was...
There's no definite answer to that question.
It means within 2 weeks or so.
Or so. So it could go beyond 2 weeks?
No, or earlier. In fact, let's quote
her. That is your understanding.
Let's quote her well. She said, we'll give you the register in 2 weeks or earlier.
No, I heard also.
No, it's all earlier.
We can fact check that.
We have the
we can fact check
audio there. Yes. And so as of yesterday, it was earlier. Okay, because Tuesday was the 1 week. Yesterday, we started talking about it. They came and said, okay, we are working within the clock to bring you the register. You haven't given us a register. You have not given us the ballot statistics. What is ballot statistics? It tells you every constituency how many people are registered, how many people are registered in each polling station. What is the percentage in terms of five? You know, they always add 5% to each of the polling stations because of ballot spoilage. People will spoil their ballot and come back, and then the presiding officer has to give them additional one. So because of that, when they are printing ballot papers, they add 5% to each polling station. You haven't done the statistics. We don't have it. All of a sudden, then you send a letter. This afternoon, bring your agents on Friday. We are starting printing ballot, notice of poll and ballot printing. We have no issue with notice of poll.
Notice of poll will just contain pictures of the presidential and parliamentary candidates.
Fantastic.
You shouldn't have an issue with that.
We have no issue with that. So we told them, we are having issue with ballot printing. Okay. Their letter is saying two things.
Because as of now, you don't know the exact number on the electoral roll.
On the electoral roll. We don't have even the code books. The voter code books will tell you every polling station how many people are supposed to vote.
Isn't it the reason why sometimes they overprint, at least by 5%?
You don't do that. You don't even know the number, which one are you overprinting by 5. You need to know the number first before you add the 5%. If I have 500 voters, then I'll calculate 5% of 500.
Right.
But you and I don't even have the figure.
You don't even know the names you are taking out. And the names you are bringing in.
You are bringing in because we are now going for exhibition again. That's the problem we're having with this institution. They are always looking for trouble for themselves. And we tell them that, look, this letter is faulty. Go and change the letter and just rewrite it and say you are calling us to come for notice of poll.
Right. Not
printing of ballot papers. We won't accept this. Nobody's going to accept this. We don't print ballot papers in vacuum. You print ballot papers with a document.
But
we don't have it.
But Dr. Friday is just 2 days away. At the last IPAC meeting, this matter, it didn't come up?
At all, it didn't come out. There was no discussion about printing of ballot papers and notice of poll. And let me repeat, we have no issue of printing of notice of poll because shortly after balloting, the next step is to do notice of poll. That will indicate the position and then the effigies of the candidates that are going to contest. Agreed, it's within their destiny. But before you go into ballot printing, you must have a register. We must know which register are you using, which calculation, which statistics have you done. So that we, based on the statistics, we all sit down. Because this election, we're not going to behave like the 2020, where they started printing ballot. Look, in 2020, they started printing ballot papers before statistics came out. Were you not surprised about over 1 million ballots were printed, and when they caught them, they say it was meant for second round vote.
Right.
Which 12 political parties go into second round vote? Have you ever seen that? Now, here we are, and you want to print ballot papers on Friday. You are asking to bring your agent to come. We are going to do ballot print. In any case, we are meeting them tomorrow. We have already replied them.
You are meeting them tomorrow on this matter.
They've asked us in their letter that we will have a meeting tomorrow, 11 a.m.
You are requesting for the meeting?
No, we are not requesting.
This is an IPAC meeting?
In their letter.
It is an IPAC meeting?
It's not an IPAC meeting. It's just about the ballot printing and then the notice of poll. And that we should come for a briefing on it. We have responded. The General Secretary has replied them that we have no problem over your printing of notice of poll. But in terms of printing of ballot papers, no, put a stop to it. Where is your ballot statistics? Where are your voter code books? Where is the register? On which basis are you printing ballot papers?
And no response as of now?
I said they wrote us, we also replied them.
And that you should meet tomorrow?
We should meet tomorrow. We'll follow them up tomorrow.
For a briefing?
Anytime they write, we are going to reply them.
So until that is done, you are seriously against
seriously. Look, you yourself, just look at it. We don't have a register. They told us that they are giving a revised provisional register.
And we don't even know when that is coming.
We don't know when it is coming because yesterday they were still telling us that we didn't even say we are giving it to you 1 week. We said 2 weeks or earlier. So give us time so that we are still working. Then in between, you say you are printing ballot papers. Who does that? When we talk, they say we are attacking Electoral Commission.
So you hope that tomorrow's meeting will bring some clarity to this matter?
Of course, we are saying that tomorrow we will forcefully enforce our letter, our response to them. That look, if we are going in for printing of notice of poll, we have no problem with that.
Nevertheless, do you have your agents on standby?
Of course, we have already trained our agents already. Because we know these people. So because of that, we took notice of it and trained our agents way ahead for the ballot printing. because we know these people can easily spring surprises like that. We train our agents for that, for this notice of poll and the printing of the ballot papers. We train our agents. But now that they are talking of, they brought a letter joining the two together. In fact, I appeared in the program today with Bosman, Dr. Bosman, on this West African Civil Society Institute. And I queried him about this issue. He tried to explain it that, look, oh, sorry, it's rather the ballot, notice of ballots that we are going to print, not ballot paper. I read the letter to him and said, this is your letter. You just sent it. I received it. When I read it, everybody was shocked in the hall. I said, so were you trying to tell me that Dr. Computer was trying to make up a story? So why don't you change your letter and remove that ballot printing and leave it as notice of poll, and we have no problem with you.
Doctor, so some few questions so that I can let you go. So as far as the NDC is concerned, your concerns with the register, you're so of the view that certain names should not be on the register and that it must be clean.
Of course, yes, we told them. And then this afternoon to repeat it, that is about the 243,000 old transfers that were added to the current transfers. It's not supposed to be there. Completely, and they agreed. They've taken it. The last meeting at IPAC, they showed some 333,000 or so. Now that is the total transfer data that they have. And we agreed to that. Because the 500 and something thousand they had was a wrong data. There was no transfer in this country, 2024, that reached 500 and something thousand.
Sure.
So that was an illegal issue. They've taken it out. And then the other problem was just the transfers, the illegal transfers. Today, he even went further to disclose that apart from sacking the district officer, they also sacked the returning officer, sacked the IT officer.
At Pusiga.
At Pusiga. Almost office staff of all of them have been sacked. If the NDC hasn't brought this one out, do you think this thing will... And we told them, it's not even Pusiga. There are other areas. And then, extend your frontiers to other areas and you will see that. So that is what we are telling them. Now that they have agreed and they are working on it, if they said they had cleaned the register, why are they still looking for 2 weeks?
And then finally, is there any feedback on your call for an audit of the IT system?
They have not responded. They are still adamant on it. I don't know why they are adamant. This afternoon, he was saying after the register, the IT system is moribund. It has no use in their elections and all that. So after the register is printed, the IT is shut down and all that. He tried to explain certain things. But, my brother, 2 months is not far. We just have less than 2 months. It's 59
days today.
After 59 days, we'll do the audit. The audit will come from Independence Square to Flagstaff House.
All right.
It's easier to do the...
So tomorrow is the meeting at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
And of course, we will follow it up and hear the outcome of this matter. Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Tanko, for your time.
The pleasure is mine. I'm grateful.
Dr. Rashid Tanko is Deputy Director of Elections with the NDC. Now, on our climate focus today, we are taking a look at nexus between climate-induced migration, peace and security. We are taking you to northern Ghana, where the impact of climate change has gone beyond weather and related matters to issues of employment, peace and security. This piece was put together by our partners from Youth Bridge Foundation. There's more in this report.
In the heart of West Africa, beneath its burning sun and upon its parched earth, a story of survival, conflict, and the quest for peace unfolds. This is northern Ghana, where the consequences of climate change are not just statistics, but stark realities that shape the destinies of its people. The Fulani and nomadic people and the Dagombas, farmers rooted to the land, find themselves at the crossroads of tradition and the harsh realities of climate change. Dams that once sustained life have dried up, leaving behind more than just barren land.
In the dry season, the little water remaining in the dam for us to use becomes muddy, making it difficult for us to use it. The dam used to be deep with clean water, but with the dirt in it now, it renders the water dirty, even if the quantity is much. As people fetch the water, some fetch it home for their animals to drink, but we ourselves do not have a clean source of water to drink. But we have no other option than to also rely on this water for drinking and cooking.
For the Fulani, migration is not a choice but a necessity. As water becomes scarce and grazing lands vanish, they move driven by the ancient rhythms of the earth and sky. But their journey is fraught with challenges.
The only source of water we have is the place where we are. The small dam we can use to harvest some small water. It will take us, after when the rain stops, it will take us maybe 1 or 2 months, then it will finish. After that, we will not get any water unless we move to different places and get water for we ourselves and our animals. Because of we are suffering of getting water, so that's the reason why our father, he said we should organize some small amount so that we'll get people to come and help us to redig the place so that we harvest more water.
The arrival of the Fulani and their herds in Dagomba land sparks conflict. Lands once fertile are now battlegrounds, where survival is pitted against survival. Both sides bear the scars of this clash, with stories of loss and longing.
One day I was there when somebody calls me. The cattle are inside my maize farm. So I went and they already go outside the farm. So I chased them with motorbike. I couldn't be able to meet them. But fortunately, I met their owners coming to the roadside. So I talked to them. Then they went back and saw that it was their cattle. So they came to apologize to me, so to forgive them.
Their intention is that the grass near the farm is very softer than where they are grazing every day. So they plan to come at the day you are not in the farm. They will come and graze at the edges and enter inside your farm and graze.
There are times my herd disturbs other people's farms. The reason is because the population is increasing. Places where our cattle used to graze has now been turned into farms, and cattle would always graze in those places now, and sometimes they walk into people's farms. But the reason we've stayed here for long is because we are patient, and as much as possible we try to talk and negotiate with the people whose farms are destroyed by the cattle.
They have some advantages to the communities and sometimes disadvantages. The advantages are that sometimes if you want cow to buy, it easily gets. But the disadvantages are that they normally destroy farmers' farm products and sometimes kidnap people in the bush.
Fulani people, they are just like us. We do everything together. We have service together. Their children even come join our children in school. They come for health service. Almost every community activity, we do it with them.
The Fulbe just happen to be an ethnic group that is specialized in pastoralism. You have about 5 different types of Fulbe pastoralists. How many people are aware of this? Very often they talk about transhumans. Transhumans don't create problems for us. You have the transhumans. They come, one man can be carrying 5, 6, 7,000 cattle. The ECOWAS protocols mandate us to create corridors for these people.
Welcome back, and before we go, the dry spell that occurred in parts of northern Ghana severely impacted 8 key agricultural areas, threatening the livelihood of over 928,000 farmers. According to experts, the implication of the crisis will likely extend beyond immediate crop losses. They say it threatens the stability of food supplies and overall economy. To help the country avert the challenges that arise from this dry spell in terms of food production, the Ghana Grains Council is gathering agri companies and experts together to discuss solutions. But here on the pause today, we want to preempt the solution by speaking to members of the council. We've been joined in the studio by Emily Afaribia Buahen, Executive Secretary, Ghana Grains Council. Emily, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So you want to understand what went wrong and find solution to address future occurrence? How are you going about it?
Okay. Good evening to your listeners also. Unfortunately, I would say the climate change that we were not really prepared for as a country has caught up with us. The prolonged dry spell that has affected the country, 8 regions. And these regions estimately produce about 62% of the grains and legumes production we have in the country. And at the moment, it's estimated that about 1.8 hectares of grains and legumes are at risk because of this prolonged grain. And 5 investments that farmers have put in is about 7.5 billion Ghana cedis.
Collectively?
And if you are talking about revenue, that if it had not been this spell, farmers and the stakeholders would have gotten, it's about more than 22 billion Ghana cedis. So you can see the impact that this has really affected the country. And the parts that the dry spell affected is where most or the major producers of the grain and cereals farmers are located, unfortunately.
So let me ask, so I don't know, from your own understanding of the situation, what went wrong? Is it poor planning of this, even though nature may have played a role, but in terms of what we have in place to help with agriculture, is it a case that we've poorly planned for so many years that it caught up with us, resulting in the situation we have?
Yeah, I would say yes, because climate change has been more of a household term now. Everybody talks about climate. In our own way, we realize that rainfall patterns in our community or in our house, even the southern part of Ghana is now raining.
Sure.
October heavily. So people who thought that previously there won't be any rain in Accra are experiencing heavy rains. So it's more like not really planning as a country, because there are ways that though climate change has happened, we could have done by research, getting varieties that's short-lived, because now you can't really predict when the rain will start. And cereals, majority of the varieties we have is more than 3 months, 90 days and above before they start, you can say that you can get good yield. But there was more than 2 months dry season in the north, and the time also coincided with when farmers decided to apply fertilizer for the crop to be developed. And from that time, 8 weeks, there was no rain. So, in Ghana, we don't have any irrigation facility. And even if we were to have irrigation facility now, with the issue of our rivers, bodies, galamsey, it will be even difficult for us to even implement that. So it's a big issue.
So this dialogue that is coming up, what exactly are you seeking to achieve?
We, as Ghana Grains Council, fortunately, our membership cuts across all the value chain actors. From farmers, that's farmer-based organizations, aggregators, nucleus and commercial farmers. We have insurance companies, banks and non-financial, non-bank institutions, warehouse operators and other things. But so we realized that, fortunately, the northern part, which was severely affected by the rain, is now going to harvest. So the government must have strategy in place that will reduce post-harvest losses as minimum as possible. Because now the yield, the estimated yield is about 40% that you are going to lose. So if before harvest you are losing 30 to 40% already, then you must make sure that post-harvest loss is minimal.
Exactly. Otherwise, food security become an issue.
By having collaboration with institutions like organizations like Ghana Grains Council, where membership have access to things like warehousing, proper training of how to do proper harvesting of your grains in the farm, and it has to be handled in a manner that is professional. If we leave this harvest season in the north to the smallholder farmers or people who are not specialized, that's where high post-harvest losses
become an
come.
issue.
So now we have to protect what we have.
Of course, it's very important. So when is the dialogue?
The dialogue is on Tuesday, 15th October 2024 at EcoBank Head Office Conference Hall.
All right, we'll monitor that. Thank you very much, Emily, for coming through.
Thank you too.
And of course, that's the Ghana Greens Council and holding the dialogue to see the way forward as far as the dry spell is concerned. That's our show for today. For more stories, log on to our website, myjoyonline.com. Galamsey organized labor suspend October 10th strike. Organized labor motives align with NDC's political strategy for 2024 elections. That's according to the MPP. Anti-Galamsey protesters must face the law, but we must solve the menace. That's former President John Ajekum Kufuor. My name is Elton Brobe. Whatever you are up to in the hours ahead, I hope is profitable. Tomorrow, same time, Thursday, we shall be here at another edition of The Pulse as we monitor government response and actualization of it on the ground. Take care and have a good evening.